Okay. Oh, and there comes Nick. Okay, it is Monday. Sorry. It is Thursday, January 30th, 2025, and I now call this meeting of the Madison College Student Senate General Assembly to order at 4:30 p.m. At this moment, can we do a roll call? That goes to Hassan for a roll call. Because Yolanda is absent. Yeah, let me just see if I can pull that up quick. Well, you can just start calling people's names. We'll remember it.
All right.
You know, it starts with.
I'm gonna start with President Burrito,
Sure, that works.
VP Salik,
Present.
VP Tao,
Absent.
absent. VP Hashmi, present. Senators now, right?
No. Huh? Nope, vice presidents.
Vice President Jackson Wood.
Here.
You got it. Hey, there he is.
We're expecting.
They already called me.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Angel Avila.
I had you scheduled for later on, but you're.
Present.
Yeah, you could present today if you're here already on time.
Yeah, I don't want to skip your agenda. No. Okay, no, totally.
No
fine.
public comments always on there.
Yes, no, thank you very much.
Senator Avila, present.
Wait, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Senator Derricks.
Say a little bit louder.
Here it is.
Senator Derricks.
Yeah, it's way better.
Abraham was not here anymore.
No, he's not.
Senator Brenner,
You're not here. Absent. Absent, okay.
and then Senator Rafter.
Brother?
Senator Villarreal,
Senator Villarreal is present.
Senator Crowder,
Present.
Senator Stacy Brenner. Absent is
Just A. Yeah, I can fix it later.
yeah. She's absent.
She's here.
President.
Right, you
and
said,
then-
yeah, there's an everything.
And then Senator Buchanan.
She's absent today. Having fun on a plane.
Yeah, I said Senator Derricks.
Yep. Okay, so then do we have quorum? So it's, you need to have one more than half of the total is our total right now is 13.
If you do, well, we need 14.
That would be, no, you just need half of that. So you would need 7.
Oh, so we do have quorum.
Yeah, so if we have 7 in quorum, we also need 3 executive council members. So I'm just trying to teach you. Oh, yeah, we totally do, but
Thank you.
just letting you know. But yes, we have quorum. Okay. Moving on, we can go past our approval of previous meeting minutes. Sorry.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
It's dropped off.
So we're gonna pull that up on the screen. We'll have a chance to look at what we discussed at the last meeting. A big overview is that Lando found a way to put cookies on under legislative affairs, so that's pretty cool. We talked about, he even updated me with Declan's correction about 11.8% of the student population, so that's really good. Advisory report, the legislative seminar is coming up on February 18th, 16th through 18th, so you gotta let Cole know. I think today is the last day to know, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so like let Cole know now about this if you haven't made that set yet. We do want one-on-one times. I think almost everyone's set that up with Cole, so that's good. For unfinished business, we talked about bill number 2. We tabled it, but it's back again for now. We talked about everything going on for the semester, elections, the 3-year plan, legislative seminar, Goodman South Town Hall, and resolution ideas presented by Senator Rafter. We tabled the recap or the retreat recap, and then we got committee times and we're gonna very much finalize them today. So if that all looks accurate to you, we can go ahead and entertain a motion to pass these meeting minutes.
Motion to approve?
Oh,
Motion to approve, second by, VP Hashmi. Okay, any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we can do a vote of unanimous approval. If no one opposes, we can pass this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Motion carries. Meeting minutes are approved. Moving on to the agenda. We'll take a look here. You'll see everything right here, traditional reports. And then we have a winter retreat recap that we tabled from last time. Bill number 2 that we tabled from last time with some new updates to take care of Senator Crowder's points that she made. We have a new resolution. We have WSG governor nominations. We'll talk about that. And then a stipend review rubric. We'll have a discussion about that. Talk about elections marketing strategy, just hear from you all. And then talk about a planning session for what do you want in your 3-year plan. This is something that may not get finished today, and we'll probably talk about it multiple times as VP Elong Tao continues to work on it. In any case, that's on the agenda. While Dr. Mark Thomas is here currently, we don't need to put him officially on there because anyone can register for public comment. But I don't know if someone's okay with this as it is, or if you want to put him in there, we can. So that's up to you.
I'd like to add Dr. Thomas to the agenda for public
Okay,
comment.
we can put him
I
and
second
title there
that.
officially. Okay, so with that, the motion is to approve the current agenda with an amendment that we just put Dr. Thomas on there to be represented for the agenda. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, perfect. Any discussion on that motion that's been seconded? Okay, seeing none, we can do a vote of unanimous approval. If no one opposes, then we can pass this motion in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Motion carries with unanimous consent. Okay, the agenda's on there. So now with the new modified agenda, it's not written in front of me, but we do a public comment from Dr. Mark Thomas, the Chief of Staff and interim, Chief Operations Officer. Is that correct?
Yeah, Executive Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer.
I was
The
very
new,
close.
new change. It was Chief of Staff
Okay,
until last year.
gotcha.
Thank you.
Take the floor.
Thank you.
All
Okay,
you.
well, thanks. Welcome to spring term. Good to see everyone. I've seen many of you in the
Mhm.
fall and other times. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone online. Thanks for joining online too. As Kai said, Dr. Mark Thomas, I'm Chief Strategy Officer for the college. One of the main things I do is government relations for the college, among a number of other things that we do. But relative to what I want to talk to you about today, that's mostly what I want to talk to you about today's government relations, as it pertains to everything that's sort of happening right now. I think folks all saw a memo from Dr. Casper, President Casper, about how the college continues to monitor everything that's coming out of DC and all the executive orders that have been issued this past week, over 300 now, just in the past 10 days, I think. Many of them, which ultimately could have an impact on the college, but most of them which come with a great deal of uncertainty. And so we're continuing to monitor everything that's going on. That memo from Dr. Casper also mentioned some of the operational things that the college is responsible for, in terms of any sort of records requests, or access to our facilities. So the college has good protocols in place with the safety and health of our students and employees first. And then there's a number of resources in there for students who have concerns. And so if you haven't had a chance, I recommend you do go ahead and read that memo. And while it may not be helpful for you directly, because you're not in that kind of situation, we all have friends and fellow students and colleagues who it may be helpful for. So just familiarize yourself a little bit with what the college's protocols and procedures and what the resources are available. And please reach out if there's ever questions or need or anything like that. Anyone at the college should be able to point you to the right person at the college if they're not the right person, right? I'm not the right person for most things, but I can find you the right person for everything, right? So whether it's your faculty member or an advisor, or a program advisor, employees, college staff and faculty are here to help you navigate these are really uncertain times. So just know that we are monitoring everything. We're being responsive when we can. Something that the college does is we lobby both at the Wisconsin level And at the federal level in DC, in fact, a couple weeks ago, you probably gave them a report and they know that you were with us at the Capitol here 2 weeks ago, lobbying on behalf of our students. And some of the funding requests that Wisconsin Technical College System has submitted to the state legislature for more funding for a variety of different programs that obviously directly impact students and support students. So we're lobbying for more dollars at the state level. And then in 2 weeks, we just had a meeting this morning again with Kai. They probably already know as well, Kai, right? That will be a National Legislative Summit for ACCT, the Association of College Community Trustees, which is our board members. So typically once a year, a contingent of us will go to Washington, D.C., lobby our legislators who are in D.C., again, for a number of things that directly impact the college. This year's a little different, again, with all of the flurry of activity that's happened. We're piecing it together now and trying to figure out what that exact lobbying effort's going to be about. It also kind of depends what happens the day of, right? Because every day, literally something else is happening that we have to react to. So again, we're really ear to the ground, paying attention, monitoring all that. So when we do get an audience with our Congress people, we'll be able to make a good pitch for what we think they should support. And you should know that Kai was a really strong voice and has been a really strong voice because you've done those in the past, not with me, but you've done those with Dr. Casper as well. Kai was amazing. And the student voice, I have done them with other students in the past. The student voice is the voice they listen to. So it's really valuable that Kai and they know Rishi as well. I'm sure they know Rishi, right? Who's our student board liaison. Both of them went with us to the Capitol. Both of them are coming. She's coming to, both of them are coming to DC. And so we'll do some prep work next week so that we all know what our roles are. But that'd be very interesting. And I'm sure Kai will come back with a report out about that. But just sort of wanted to put that out there for you all. We are eyes wide open, literally all hours of the day, paying attention to what is coming next. And it's not just college employees like myself who are doing that. We're also part of associations for everything from student financial aid, student mental health. There's national associations for just about everything the college does. And all of those associations are also in a constant state of monitoring what's going on so that they know specifically, for example, student financial aid. If something happens to student financial aid, that national association is on it like a fly on garbage, understands it inside out, and then quickly gives us what the implications are in a more technical way than we could ever do, ourselves. So we're monitoring ourselves, but we're also plugged into all these associations that inform us of what's going on. So while they are surprises, because the whole thing is a surprise, we know how to handle them when we're monitoring them, and then we can quickly pivot to support you. So that was sort of the big thing I wanted to touch base on. The other things I was curious about here at the beginning of the term were two things. Right at the beginning of the term, first day, we had a closure. And we're sort of curious about communication, how folks felt about how the communication went to let you know that, campuses were closed. About 6 students showed up. Who didn't get the notification or didn't listen to the radio or didn't watch television or weren't online, who didn't know we were closed. But other than that, we didn't, not a lot of people showed up, but we're just sort of curious about how you feel the communication went. So if you get any feedback about that, we'd love for you to share it with us. And then the second thing, the other major thing that's a logistical thing that's impacting many students is a lot of student services, advising and counseling, all of that, because there's construction where those services typically are provided, they're sort of spread out inconveniently. Some are across the street, the foundation building. Some have moved up front to the gateway main entrance. And so we're just sort of curious if you've heard feedback about difficulties in finding those services and anything else that can inform us about communications and how students can continue to find the services they need when they're going to be inconveniently located for the rest of this, academic year. We want to make sure that students know where they are. So, you don't say anything now if you don't know now, but we're interested in that feedback from Student Senate as representatives of all students. We really want to know what we can do better so that students can still get the services they need, and we can make it as easy for them as possible. When something's hard to get to, you just don't do it, right? And we, of course, want students to do it. So let us know that, please. Looking for some feedback.
Yeah.
And any questions you all have, I'm happy to
Yeah, immediately online, we have, Lando, is that what you're,
Yep.
okay, yep.
100%.
Cool. Hey, Lando.
Hi, Dr. Thomas. Thank you so much for being with us today and
Thanks for having me.
keeping us on, tabs on everything going on. So in terms of feedback I've heard about recent changes at the college for that snow day, that first day of school, it looks like when I went on the website, it said the building was closed because of the inclement weather. So that's how I figured it out. I believe there's also an email sent out to all of our accounts. But overall, I think the communication, you did as well as you could have done given the, the window you had to send that out. So I'm not sure if I have anything to add for that. I think you guys did a great job communicating. And obviously those 6 students, I feel bad for them for making that drive in when they didn't have to, but that's not too many considering how many commute. So I would say you guys did pretty well with that. In terms of the renovations and moving the student services across the street, we're actually going to be discussing a resolution later today about that, just trying to address some concerns students have brought up with a lack of signage or safe crossing. A lot of students have told us that a lot of drivers speed down Anderson Street or just don't drive very well. So we're trying to install some measures over there to the best of our ability to ensure students can safely get across there if they need to access those student services. And I will say, I did see the giant sign out by kind of right across from the gateway entrance, talking about the renovations and moving student services to Anderson Street. I thought that was very helpful for me personally to figure out where everything was, and definitely helpful to other students who may not be as in the loop as the rest of us on the renovation. So very happy that you guys placed that sign out there. I'm not sure who is in charge of that, but I would definitely give them some credit for what they did. So yeah, those were my comments.
Thanks. That resolution, obviously, we've moved forward and that'll be helpful to identify some of the concerns. Thank you. That's great. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we can send
Exactly
it
what
to
we're looking
you.
for.
I typically don't send out things until they're passed.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, so once it passes,
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
make it to your way.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
along with public safety.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, I can send that to you.
And I'll make sure it gets forwarded to operations people. Whenever.
Mhm.
You can send it to Dr. Ramirez too. So
Oh, okay, yes, I can.
Public safety and facilities fall under her.
Okay,
So share it with her as well.
okay, yeah, we can make that happen.
Thank you. That's great feedback. Do folks use the Wolfpack Alerts app much? Is that something that you promote or any of you have downloaded? Is that something that?
We do promote the Wolfpack Alert app at the Wolfpack welcome events. And then we do have some signage for it in the student life office.
Yeah.
My understanding is that is the extent.
Yeah. We're always sort of curious how useful that is to people, right? Because as Lando said, like it's on the website, it's on the radio, it's on TV. You got an email, we've got the app.
I found out
I
from
don't know if
Instagram.
people pay attention to that.
I found out from my counselor, actually.
Mm.
I got an email, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we all saw it through various ways. I will say
Yeah.
there's one, okay, I do see a net, but let me just finish this. I did see that there was one like Instagram post that someone said, like, I think it was athletics. They wrote like, oh yeah, like our hours are blah, blah, blah. And they posted on the same day that the closure was. So I just think that they had like pre-scheduled posts and
Right.
they wanted to do that. So like maybe just watch
Right.
that when you, it was like news like that. I don't think that probably drew anyone in, but, I don't know, something to think about. I remember looking at that and thinking, oh, maybe they shouldn't have posted that today.
Yeah.
Because maybe people will go like, yeah, maybe I will go to the gym, first day of school. But
Yeah.
Annette?
I just had one question, and that is, so when the building is closed, instructors can still have classes? Is that correct? Because one of mine did, and I assumed because the building was closed that there was no class.
Yeah.
Yeah, faculty separately have a whole set of tools that they're able to use and policy guidance to be supportive of students. So yeah, you can go ahead and have your class if you want, but you can't penalize students for missing the class, right? Because if a student's missing a class and they're a parent, chances are their child is also missing a class. And so now they have to be a caregiver during the day. And you should have an expectation for them to attend class online, right? So faculty are free to go ahead and do that to the extent that they can, but be flexible with students' availability, right? Because it's just an impracticality. It's just an impracticality. We have students who are emergency plow drivers. So school's closed, but they're out plowing the roads, right? Like on a snow day kind of thing. You've actually had that incident. So when school is closed, we allow faculty to do that, but ask them to be supportive and flexible of students' needs. And they usually are. Like we rarely get a complaint that a student felt, sort of browbeaten for not being virtual or something on a snow day. So faculty are typically, really supportive of that. But yeah, you could have a faculty member who says, okay, well, we'll do it online today. We would just hope that if you can't attend, that there's nothing punitive about you missing it, and that they provide you any content they might have provided to the others and that kind of thing.
Is there someone online? Do
Jose had put some feedback a while back.
you want to read it?
Yep. So,
And then
Senator
send it
Villarreal
back.
said that, some of the feedback that was, coming for the remodeling and renovation part, wasn't received as well. I guess one of the main issues may have come from, veteran services. So, in a minute, if Jose wants to expand, go for it. Sounds like the hybrid offering has been a little bit of an issue, and it being across the street. And, Jose served as one of our orientation leaders for our Spring Wolfpack welcoming. Two different students kind of got the run around during orientation of where things were or how to access them. That was just the feedback that he received. Well, did I get everything correct? I did. Awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Jose.
We are open.
Yeah, who else had their hand up? Senator.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if it is an official guideline that faculty provide content asynchronously in the event.
They're not required to.
Okay.
They can. Some do and some don't. They just might not have class that day. Or they might say, hey, if you can join, and here's some content. You would hope they wouldn't do, a quiz or something like that, and again, we haven't gotten many complaints about that. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of classes, so we don't hear from every single student, of course, but we haven't gotten a lot of feedback that faculty are, being impractical. But they're not required to have it. They're not required to have class if it's canceled. They can.
So let me say this, an example of where someone was responsive. I have class accounting 4. It's basically the last of the intermediate accounting theory. Our professor had a class on or wanted things to be due the first day, but because the snow closure, she's like, you know what? Everyone just take an extra 2 days on Thursday. That way I can grade it on Friday. So she was very responsive to things being, I don't know, like noticing that the first day was closed.
Yeah.
So
I think that's typical.
Yeah.
Like that's what we encourage them to do. Be a little flexible. What's not the end of the world? Like do it tomorrow instead of today. So I think that's typical. But if we, you do have avenues to let us know if that's not the case. If someone's not been helpful. So but we haven't heard that much at all.
I never had any issues with any teachers, but how would a student who is maybe having an issue with the teacher, where do you find that information to contact you guys?
So you can follow up with the dean of students, right? You can touch base with our friends, any of the advisors and your advisor here. And so you can go directly to the dean of students office.
Okay.
And there are student complaints. I'm not saying there aren't any. There are student complaints about many things. There just haven't been many about that particular thing. But yeah, dean of students office, open door, absolutely there to support students. And so feel really comfortable telling people to do that. Dean of students office is always putting our students first in those decisions.
I just want to say, I'm second semester at the school, and I personally for me, coming into Madison College, I wouldn't know like what the dean of students is, or like
Okay.
if they were like people I would go to for like things like that. So I'm kind of just thinking of like how to like publicize it more, like especially for like incoming students or like students that are transferring like or like transitioning from high school to college, because we don't have that like at, our high schools, at least
Right.
for mine.
I will share that feedback. Thank you.
VP Hashmi? And
Um,
then-
thank you, Dr. Thomas, for coming. Speaking of, the thing you said in the briefing that there's some executives orders coming from DC. I was a bit worried as an international student. Do you have any particular message for them? Especially like what we're hearing like from Chicago's school district, they have tried to gain some information. I know you said Madison College has like some policies.
Yeah.
Are existing there.
Yeah,
I was just wondering, let's say if there's some approach from ICE agent, do you have any typical message for an international student regarding that?
yeah, so two things.
Yeah.
If someone comes requesting records,
Sure.
you're all protected by what's called FERPA. No, I can't tell you what it stands for, but you've heard of it, and it protects the privacy of student record at a higher education institution, right? So protect by FERPA, and unless they have a legal document that says they can gain access to it, they don't have a right to gain access to it without your permission. That's sort of the first layer of protection, that your student record is protected in that way. Unless, again, they have to have a warrant or, some, I don't know all the legal terms, but
Yeah.
some formal way of doing that. And that is handled by our public safety department. So all of those go to our public safety department, and they have the rules and protocols, and they can determine, along with them, they'll go to the appropriate department and determine if we will provide access to the student record or not. And we're really particular about that. So that's on the records side. If they're here looking for a person, the same thing is true. Madison College is public space, right? So anyone who wants to can walk in the front door and walk around. But there are spaces like this room that are semi-private, and they aren't necessarily granted access to this room. And so the same thing will hold. They're looking for a person. Let's say they're looking for me. That's an ICE agent looking for me. Again, they would have to have a warrant or the proper legal documentation. And again, they don't just get to knock on the door and say, "Let me in and get Mark." We would say, "Well, you have to go to public safety,"
Sure.
because again, public safety is going to verify that it's you're not in a fake uniform, that it's a real legal document.
Okay.
And so, we're protecting students as much as we possibly can while following, being in compliance with the law, right? So the bottom line is we have to follow the law, and we will. But we are just making sure that we're following the law and that the proper channels have been gone through. So we have not had that, instance in the past. We have from time to time had, people who are on our campuses who are being sought by the police, and they'll come with work, but they have always coordinated with
Sure.
our public safety. And we have said to them, this is a disruption to our
Yes.
campus. Can you do it at their home or their job? And they've historically been very cooperative to not be disruptive on campus. And our public safety does a very good job making sure that it's a valid request. So, as things have changed, we're just being very vigilant about that as well. So you all received a memo this week from Dr. Casper. All employees received a memo last week from Dr. Casper explaining in more detail than I'm giving you now what protocols we have in place. And then for all of those areas that have like a front desk, like someone who may encounter, say, an ICE agent or somebody coming onto a campus, with a subpoena for records or looking to find someone, all those people will have their own like customized training.
Sure.
What to say, how to do it. The bottom line message is send them to public safety, because that's a really good funnel for us to make sure we're following, protecting our students, but then also following the law, right? Those are the people to make both of those judgments correctly.
So, yeah, a lot of people here have a lot of similar questions
Yeah.
about that topic. Can you just kind of give like a one be all catch all answer to this? Because I think people are wondering about like, you know, how the federal government and DEI, I feel like you probably can't answer that because,
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
I had a feeling like,
Those kinds of things, and that's what I'm saying, there's a lot of uncertainty, when, you know, all of these executive orders that have come down, are being interpreted now. What will follow from the executive orders is then the individual government agencies will change their rules about things that then will be followed, right? So that's what is in process now, is the, you know, and a lot of the government agencies don't have a leader or don't have many leaders, right? Because if you've read the news, you know that like 20 people get fired here and 20 people are fired there. And backfilling those leadership roles takes time. Some of it takes congressional approval. So the executive orders are coming out like lightning, right? Like 20, 30, 50 a day. And everybody's trying to understand what they mean. But we have to realize is then the executive order is going to go to, let's say, the Department of Education, and then the Department of Education is going to determine what that means for the programs that the Department of Education manages, right? So there's going to be a process before we know what the real impacts are. When I say we're there lobbying, we're just sort of lobbying basically like, don't cut Pell Grants, don't cut Perkins Grants, don't cut TRIO. These are how those programs support our students. That's what we're doing to lobby. For the other efforts like DEI efforts and immigration efforts, things like that, it's a wait and see, like what is going to be the impact of programmatic changes. And the DEI things are probably the most complicated. They're constitutional, they're civil rights, they're freedom of speech, other freedoms of expression. They are going to take a long time to understand what the outcomes are. But again, we're paying attention, monitoring. There's professional associations. You know, Madison College isn't the only college in the country that has financial aid, right?
Right.
Isn't the only college in the country that has DEI programs. So everybody is trying to understand what that means for them. And right now, there's just a lot of uncertainty. That's the one answer.
Yeah.
That's the overriding answer. Is there's a lot of uncertainty. But the reason I led the whole thing with we're monitoring is we want you to know that we are very closely monitoring and paying attention every minute of the day. And literally for you, like that's literally what we're here for. Like we're monitoring because our job is to make sure you can get an education in a safe environment and provide everything that we can to do that. So that is like our bread and butter. That's what we're doing.
and I think a lot of people online probably still aren't satisfied with those answers, and that's
Sorry,
fine.
folks.
But I think that if we keep talking about this, he's gonna keep telling you that you don't know.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I think a lot of people have good questions, but I think hoping everyone can be satisfied with, we will let you know as things develop. Cause I think everyone has like little nuanced versions of the same question, so
Yeah.
that's okay. But
Understand that.
Declan, if you had something different, let's go off of that.
Sort of. How can we follow along with the information coming in from these various associations that Madison College is spoken to?
Yeah, so when we have information and we're sharing it, right, we will share it. You're also going to get, so not only are there like professional associations that inform us, the professionals, administrators charged with running the college for our specific, you know, areas of responsibility. You're also going to get information directly yourselves from like Wisconsin Student Government and other student associations. So other things that you are connected to are going to have information for you as well. But the college will continue to send out information as we have it. And you know, we've got a communications team that's really good and is on top of it. So as we know it, we will communicate it. And you'll also probably get it from other sources like student government associations and things like that you're going to get information from.
The last thing I think, so is everyone online okay with that? So one last thing I wanted to ask, if everyone else, okay. Well, I just wanted to ask them, can you just tell them what it is, like just give a big overview of what it is we're gonna advocate for in Washington? In case any of them want to say right now, if there's quick interest, they want to tack on that, see how we can incorporate that into our.
The big things we plan on talking about are TRIO grants, Perkins grants, and Pell. That's why I said that earlier, actually, because that's the big three things. And then also EBT and SNAP. And I don't know, Kai, if they've been briefed on what WSG is doing on that, or you'll share that with them.
No, that came from, yeah. That was big.
So you'll get some briefing from Kai on that because it's work he's doing with WSG. So it's basically us going in and saying, you know, the ones we're going to visit know us already, so we don't have to say Madison College is a technical, like, there are legislators, they know us. Hi, how are you doing, Senator Johnson, or Senator Johnson's counsel, whoever we end up meeting with.
Yeah.
You know, we just want to make you aware of some of the impacts from federal funding. And we will be explicit about, I don't know if you all read about like the federal funding freeze,
Yeah.
right? So we will be explicit about what the impact would have been or would be if a funding freeze happened. And we're going to focus on those three programs because they serve thousands of students, and our most disadvantaged students. And so we're focusing on that. WTCS, Wisconsin Technical College System, the presidents have all met, and Dr. Casper was part of that over the last couple of days or so. And those are the three programs that they collectively decided to focus on because of the impact at our institutions is unique. Thousands of students impacted if those programs were cut. So we'll go in, give them an idea of here's the number of students who benefit from a TRIO program. Here's the number of students that benefit from Pell. Here's the dollar amount for Perkins. So we'll explain a little bit about what the impact at Madison College is. So they'll understand what the impact would be if we didn't have those grants. WIOA grants is another thing, Kai, that we're going to throw in.
Mhm.
And Kai being a beneficiary of that grant will be able to step in and give a student perspective.
WIOA. Love it.
On that. So we want to present to them real stories and real outcomes and real problems that we would have if funding got cut. Is that?
Yeah, no, that's good. I think we've kind of exhausted this personal topic. I did put his email out there in the chat if you need to reach out to him. So that's on there. I think there's one last question, Cole. That's the question you were gonna ask, right?
Yeah, so this actually goes back to the closure, because I did get this question from a couple students. So the email that was sent out said that, certain things are to be offered should be like, or to be expected to be offered in a hybrid fashion. And so I assumed that my job was to be offered in hybrid, so obviously I did. And you said that faculty might have their own set of rules they have to operate by, so I just want to know, are there kind of separate expectations across what a faculty member is to do versus like a staff member of the institution?
Yeah, because so much of it varies, right? Like the hands-on nursing and welding programs weren't gonna happen. They
Correct.
couldn't, right? But the accounting 4 class could have happened, right? And then, you know, cafeteria staff didn't need to come in because they can't provide their service, but you and I were online working because we could,
Correct.
right? So there's not a blanket answer, so we sort of have that expectation that each unit is determining what they can do because it's so different. You know, there's 237 different reasons
Sure.
for someone to be working and not working.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and then one last thing, I think one of our incoming student senators, you know, pending approval, is interested in knowing data. Where would you find data or information on this? Is there a web page that we can look at that'll be continually updated, or where should we?
On
Look.
the closure stuff? Or
I
on
think he's
the
looking for data
on the federal stuff?
I think he's looking for our school's reaction to the federal stuff, is my understanding from his question. This is Evan Sullivan, which schools?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's correct.
Yeah, so actually just today,
Mm-hmm.
we started working with our communications department on what our Wisconsin State visit was about and what the content was. So there'll be a story on the website about that. Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
and they had, yeah, Jennifer was working on
Yep.
it, so yeah. And then we'll have a follow-up to when we went to DC and what I just said about what our
Mhm.
focus will be in terms of lobbying the federal government.
Yeah.
So we'll post those stories as we can put them together after they happen.
You should title it Dr. Casper Goes to Washington. That's funny, right?
Mr. Bruno goes to Washington.
I see, I would say president. I'm like, now there's two presidents.
President Bruno goes
Now
to
there's two
Washington.
presidents in
right.
DC.
Oh, Maybe, there may be a few.
That's true, Dr. Casper as well. Yeah, okay, with that, I think we've kind of exhausted our time, but we do value it. I gave them your email in case people want to, you know, learn more. Obviously, you probably can tell us when that gets published out, like that webpage/story, when it gets published out, and we will let you know about our resolution once that
Yeah,
passes
please
today
do.
or next week. So,
That'll be helpful to get us more info on that. And then you're gonna share with me the SNAP stuff later. That's
Sorry.
directly related here, SNAP EBT.
oh, yes, that's,
So that'll become part of the DC.
yep, and obviously I'm gonna share you the WSG paper. We are going to finalize that today, so.
And you'll share that with them, so they'll have that briefing.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't need to do anything about that.
Mhm.
But we'll include that in our DC briefing. So we're happy to hear that you're doing that today. I was like, oh, one less thing I have to do.
Yep.
Uh,
Make it easy.
So that's good.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's okay.
If, I don't know, Cole, if like, I realize all the online questions were sort of similar, but is there a way, could you cut and paste them all in and just email me a?
Oh,
like a
yeah, you know
brain
what?
dump of it?
Let's, anyone that
somebody?
had a question that wasn't
'Cause-
exactly answered, please write that in the chat
Yeah.
and then we can send
And I
it in
don't-
one document. over
I don't want
to
to say
you.
I'm going to answer every individual question, but I want
Yeah.
to give a context for the kinds of things that everybody's asking around this same issue. So we just sort
Yeah.
of have an idea of what people are curious about. It's not going to be helpful for me to give like, because I mostly can't give an individual answer to each of them, but I just sort of be helpful to see the sort of scope of things you all are curious about as we're thinking about how to communicate.
Yes.
When we do have more certainty, and just make sure we capture those interests you have.
And just letting you know, many students have already reached out to me wondering how these things are going to affect. So it's not just us, like we're the ones pelting you with questions right here and now
Yep.
because you're in front of us, but other students are asking
Yep.
me and, Hassan and other people,
Yeah.
what's going to happen. So La Raza is a student group that's interested in that, UCG,
Yeah.
IE, and there might be some other groups that I just am not aware of, but that's who I know. So,
And I think, I would ask if you're comfortable giving the message that the college will communicate when we know, right? If you haven't heard, then we don't know. I mean, that's the reality for us, right? So that's why I sort of started saying we will continue to monitor and make sure we're on top of it and try to trust us that once we know, you will know. Or the impacted students will know.
okay.
Not everything's applicable to everyone, right?
Okay, with that, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And
Thanks, everyone online.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
So we'll say, yeah.
Yeah. All right, cheers. Good night.
Cheers. With that, we do have public comment. Is there any more public comment? Nothing, no one registered. Well, for our team development activity, no, this one's kind of broken. I brought little like snacks of this. My workplace every Wednesday has a free lunch and I bring home something from it. So there's a bunch of these like, I don't know, fortune cookies if you want them. There's enough for everyone. So I don't know if you want it. Thank Hassan who gave me the idea last week.
I know
Last week we did that.
No, you gave me an idea from the Africa thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So really, I gave myself this idea.
You guys are so humble right now.
Okay, fun. And yeah, that's part of the team development activity. So
Thank you.
yeah, do you have a team development activity? Otherwise, I thought everyone could just share their thing out loud.
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, everyone in the room. Okay, why don't everyone that's in the room, they can share what's in their fortune cookie, and the people that are not in the room, they can share like a good fortune that they have for the future. Does that make sense? Is that like a thing? What would they say? They'd say a hope they have for the future, or that? Yeah. 'Cause, like this is supposed to tell your future, right? Yeah. So like, what is something you hope will be true in the future? Does that work for people online? No, Jose, I'm just looking at Jose's face. So he's like, something you hope will be true in the future. Like basically a wish. Tell us a wish of yours. Maybe your wish is that you like want to win the lottery. I don't know. Yeah, just give out a wish. It could be anything.
It's a very interesting question, Kai, but I think I can do that. But
Yeah. Okay. Let's have some people talk in person first to give you ideas of what is going to be on the fortune. So maybe like you two can go first, and then or not. Do you not want to go first?
I can go first.
Yeah. Okay. No, Hi and Hassan will go first, and then we'll call some people online, and then it should be fun.
They say for better luck, you have to wait till spring.
No way you had that one.
And they gave me my lucky numbers. Apparently it's 4, 10, 8, 39, 42, and 66.
Mm.
So it's like you're buying lottery.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
right?
You really could buy a lottery ticket.
Oh, maybe I should. Good luck. I can win.
Okay.
So
You gotta
yeah,
wait till spring though. Spring's on March 21st or something like
the
that.
first day of spring, I'm going
Thursday
to play
spring.
lottery.
Yep. Talk to me after tax season. We'll make that good luck happen.
I will
So.
give you the half of my money.
What?
I give you the half of my
You
money.
love the
Oh,
taxes.
thank
You see how I love you?
you. Yo. Okay, Mr. Sun, you want
Yeah.
to read
We had the
your-
same thing.
Same one. For better luck, you have to wait till spring.
Is it the same lucky
You have
number?
the same numbers?
We can play lottery the same day. No.
We can split our money half and half.
True.
What about you, Kai?
A man's best position is a sympathetic wife. This does not apply to me.
Wait, repeat. What?
A man's best position is a sympathetic wife.
Oh, yeah.
What if I want to be the wife? Okay. Well, we'll move on. Someone online go. Someone online go. Lando, maybe?
Well, I do have some saved fortunes from some fortune cookies I've had in the past.
Whoa.
I might be able to use one of those actually if I could flip this around. Okay, so we got your present plans are going to succeed, so that's pretty good. This one, you're the DJ of your life. Drop that beat, and then I think that says cherish. Is it fiery? Fleeting moments, they're precious. I think those are all great. I think the DJ one is my favorite because I really like music, and I guess a dream of mine would be to, I don't know, produce a song or something, maybe help someone write a song that goes viral. That'd be super cool.
Yo, hit up Declan.
Yeah.
He's got that magic.
Okay.
DJ magic. Okay.
Maybe do a podcast too. I think that'd be really fun.
It'd be fun. Okay, who is next? Maybe Angel? Tell us a wish, a dream, or hope.
So wish.xrp goes to 1 million. But I actually beat the sound that resonates through time. Beat the sound that resonates through time.
You need to what? Resume 2 times?
Be the sound that resonates twice.
Oh, you want to come back? Okay. He's like leaving a legacy. You said that so poetically. Poetic? That was poetic. You're a poet. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, wow. Well, I would hate to follow that up. So, Jose.
Gosh, yeah, thanks, Kai. I guess a hope would be to ace every single exam for microbiology. And something that I saw in the fortune cookie, but I saw a lot of other places too, is to be the change that you want to see. So
Good line.
That is good.
Frying people. Okay, someone in person, maybe Andy. I don't know if I'm gonna go.
I like mine. Mine is pretty good. It says, you have an ability to sense and know a higher truth.
Whoa,
I like that too.
everything's so profound. Why did I get the mic? Sorry.
That's as bad as us.
No, that's fine. Yo, Quinn, what'd you get?
Okay, so lucky number is 9, 45, 7,
Okay.
10, and 2.
Those are good numbers.
The mysterious side of your nature makes you most alluring.
Whoa.
Okay.
Damn, someone's flirting with you in these fortune cookies. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Someone online, Stacy. A dream, a hope, a wish.
Have any?
You don't have any dreams, no hopes, no wishes? I don't believe it.
Well, I mean, Senate. I don't know, I guess to pass my classes and to graduate soon. But other than that, I don't really have any dreams or wishes anymore.
Anymore? Like when you were little, did you want to be like a robot or that's not, I don't know why I said that. Did you want to be like a firefighter or a doctor or anything like that?
I used to want to be a firefighter, but I'm too short.
Mm,
There's short firefighters.
there are short firefighters.
But you have to be able to carry like 100 and I believe they said it's like 145 pounds for like 50 feet, and I cannot do that.
Well, you can't do that right this second, but maybe you could do it if you like did a training montage. We're gonna go Rocky on you.
I was a teenager. I tried, and yeah, I couldn't. I'm not that strong.
Maybe one day. Sierra, what you got for us? What is your dream?
Become, cannot talk today. Become a concert photographer.
Aren't you already that?
Professionally, but yes, I am.
Okay, I see what you're saying. That's like your professional dream. Okay, become the greatest concert photographer in the world. Got it. That works for me. Okay, Nevaeh.
You have an ability to sense and know higher truth.
Wait, these are like all the same. Wow.
You guys sensing the same higher truths or
What if they're opposite of each other? Who's got the evil? Okay, Declan, what you got for us?
I was hoping that you would call on me next.
Okay.
You want the lucky numbers first or just?
You can
the
do
same?
however you want.
All right, I've got 3, 14, 24, 25, 30, and 33. Life to you is a dashing and bold adventure.
I think it fits you well.
Yes, it does, very much so.
Mhm. That's good. Okay, we'll switch online. I didn't forget Cole, but we'll switch online to who didn't go online. Okay, Evan, you didn't go, and Annette didn't go. Yeah, so Evan, you go for it.
I'm sorry to say mine's not really going to be poetic or philosophical or anything like that, but I'd say a dream I have is working in state government someday to the point where I'm actively making a difference in somebody else's life.
Okay, Governor Sullivan Richgels. I see.
I love that.
Maybe
One
we'll
day.
see.
We'll see. Annette, what dream you got for us?
For me, I think it would be to start a business with my sister and sister-in-law.
Hmm.
That would
Well,
be
you know an accountant, so
true too.
there you go. You could start up there. Okay, that's good. And then Cole, I think that's everyone. So Cole, round us out. Great.
I believe so.
What's your fortune say?
My fortune is good news will come to you from far away.
Ooh, that could be anyone.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
numbers are 6, 13, 40, 7, 8, 59, and 1.
You can play lottery today.
What?
You can play lottery today.
I can play lottery today. You are
Yeah.
not wrong.
Yeah, that would be from far away, I think. The government.
Maybe not.
DC is far away. Yeah. Okay, well, that was just a little like, activity, a fun way to get to know people and learn about each other. So there we go. We can do more of these in the future. Let's see, reports from disclosures and recusals. If anyone has anything disclosed today, any partnerships, associations, affiliations, ownerships, things like that. I just kind of created that because if anyone, like, I don't know, if we started working on like a building and policy and then like you had a family member that was donating $500,000 to that building, that's the kind of thing. But I don't think anyone is doing that. But if you are, please say so now. Related to like traffic safety, I guess. Nothing? No one? No one's like I don't know, the heir to Madison College? No? Okay. Well, we can move on. Reports from officers, advisors, and standing committees. Executive Council and President report. I think the big thing I want to say is that we have a really big semester and we have to stay committed on what it is that we're going to do. I know that sometimes there's these projects and ideas that I have, and it's really hard for me to execute on all of them. And I think this semester I really need a lot of help from people to carry these on. So I really need people to like read these because I won't be able to be around here as much. If for those of you that didn't know, like I not only took a tax job this semester, so I'm like working 20-ish hours a week there. Obviously, Student Senate President still is like 15 to 20 hours a week. I try my best to keep up to date with that. But then there's class, and then there's also like clubs, and then there's also like, I don't know, just getting to know people. Is what?
Graduation.
And then graduation's coming up. There's a bunch of trips coming up. As Dr. Mark Thomas mentioned, I'm going to be going to DC. I'm going to be doing the WSG legislative seminar. I'm going to be doing like a BPA thing. So there's a lot of things leaving. I'm going to be working through spring break. So there's an end in sight, but it's going to be a long slog. And I know not everyone has like the same schedule as me, but I'm just going to ask this semester if we could like step it up because we're in gear for the second semester. There's a lot of projects. So I just want to remind people that I'm not asking you to be as busy as I am because that's insane. I don't even want to be doing this at this point anymore, but we're locked in. We're a month in and I kind of got to finish it through now. But just ask that everyone kind of, keeps in mind that, we all need to work together to make this happen because, that's the only way it's going to happen because I definitely can't do it alone. So just Please, everyone, keep that in mind. Yep. Do I need therapy? Oh, Annette was saying therapy for another reason. Okay, well, I probably do need it, so. In any case, that is my report. Vice President, Administration Finance Committee, not here, but Cole, were you at the meeting?
Let me think. I believe so. Is that the one we had the fire drill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Do
day.
you
Yeah.
want to share?
Yeah, so basically we were, we had met the new individual, I forgot their name, I apologize, that is replacing Kodiak.
Mm,
I think
Within,
it's a girl, right?
It's a girl,
Yeah.
Carmilla or something.
Mm-hmm.
Super nice, learning the process with it, but we basically sat through, kind of got a rundown of what was all going on. And then, we were working through the budget and then the fire alarm went off. And that was really it. So long story short, budget wise, we are doing well. We did get, final like notice of where, SGI, the Student Government Institute, is going to be held this year. And so we will now be updating our budget in terms of where we want to appropriate monies as we are, like I said, ahead a little bit. That way we can make sure we have enough for travel for SGI for the incoming Senate, as well as maybe any other expenses that we have to plan for the summer. One of them being the jackets that we are going to have to reorder here or order more of here into the future. But that was really it. But we got to the budget part, said we're going to move money around, and then we got told to leave the building.
Can we hold on ordering those jackets until the next year? That way we don't eat our budget, because do we still have room left? for
We
that?
can, based on everything I'm seeing, we're gonna have room left.
Okay. Well, let's just still hold on that, because I think what we can do is strategically increase our budget for next year to account for that, because we can increase our budget up to 10%. And with some of the changes that we already have, like our new budget's gonna be pretty solid. I mean, it's 10%, not including the increases to, what's it called? The roles, the middle
Yeah.
manager roles.
The only thing that came up that I found out yesterday is we were not charged for the constant contact contract for this time. Doug told me that.
Like no one was charged, or students said it
No,
wasn't
that
charged?
it was charged somewhere to a different budget thing within student life on purpose. So the money that we may have put aside to assist in that payment, we now just have sitting there.
So we can use it for printing, because that's advertising.
Correct. It's just what it's under currently is under, I have to look up which one it is, if it's publication.
Subscriptions.
Yeah, long
I
story,
think it was subscriptions it was under.
something like that. Long story short, that just came up. So yes, I agree with you, but also we will have some stuff that we should probably spend towards the end, as long as we're in a good spot and we can account for everything.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
just what came up.
Yeah, we can talk more about that in
100%.
future budgets too. But the other thing, well, we'll talk about that later. But rules and legislative affairs.
Yeah, no major announcement. The application will open on February 14th, right?
For
these elections.
correct, yes. the
Uh,
application open.
And then I would like you guys to free up your schedules for the week of,
The last week of February.
the last week of February. And then, I don't know how much, are we gonna like table, 2 hours per person? Does that?
I think we can talk more about
Sure.
that. The biggest thing is making sure everybody tables an equitable amount of time so that we
Sure.
can make sure it gets in there.
And then, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Thank you very much. We should probably create a calendar
Sure.
of this stuff so people can look at it. So I'll figure out how to use that feature in SharePoint, that way people can look at that stuff. But okay, moving on. Team Development Committee, VP Felicia.
We decided to move our meeting main time and date from Tuesday to Friday, 4:30 p.m. And also we talking about the town hall events. And I also have some idea that came in my mind I want to share with you. Also share some with the committee last time. We have some free t-shirts, so we were thinking about doing some DI event last year. So we think it's going to be a good idea to use that t-shirt for the town hall event. So do like some game and be like, hey, come play a game and win some t-shirts. So that was one idea. And today I discussed with Cole, and he also said we have like some free Pepsi stuff available on Student Life.
that we can also use for the tabling and be like, hey, we have like some free casket Pepsi or some free something Pepsi item. Come play a game and then come winning. So that can attract people to coming in. And also, we might need two people to do the table at the same time. So one can talk to the student about like what student is doing, and the second one will play the game with other students. So we might need at least two people for each tablings. So yes, that is some idea. I think that's all right.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for VP Slifu? Nothing? Okay, moving on. Public Relations Committee. There is a part in the middle there for poster right there. So
Okay,
we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
So, we, public relations have our meeting Fridays, 12 to 1. And we've kind of just been making posters for the election and just like promotional posters that they're going to talk about like later on. And you guys will be able to get to vote on which one you like better, I guess. Is that about all right? Vote on it? Is that what you want?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, one of them, I definitely want to get consensus before we put it out. But the other one's pretty straightforward in terms of, whether or not people like it. We'll go ahead and use that for application.
And that's about it. Am I missing anything, Cole? End of the report.
Good stuff. Any questions for VP Jackson Winters? No? Seeing none, we can move on. Advisory report. Cole?
Yep, so first and foremost, if you want to attend and you're committed to attending the WSU legislative seminar, you need to let me know before the end of this meeting, as I'm going to be signing up the folks that I've heard from thus far tomorrow at 9 a.m. so that we are set to go. There is a fee associated with it, so I want to make sure whoever's going is committed because we are going to put that money up for it. We are signed up to table at Winterfest. So Winterfest is the student life involvement event happening on February 11th. That's a Tuesday at Truax, and then February 18th at Goodman South. We have a table, and so I'd like to get one or two folks at each event, and I'll be working with Nohaya on that to get that word out.
Yep.
Outside of that, continue to be attending your committees. If you're a part of shared governance councils, make sure you are attending those as well. And then, lastly, do you want me to give the Student Affairs Council update? I see that it's not on there. Okay, just real quick from the Student Affairs Council, because it does actually impact us. They have asked to try and begin to do work alongside Senate. They specifically sought out Senate as one of the opportunities to kind of develop what type of policies, practices, procedures that they want to bring forward to the College Assembly. And knowing that we are the student body, like the voice of the student body, they did want to reach out to us on that. So myself and Sylvia will kind of serve as the individuals to bridge that gap, as Sylvia is our rep for the Student Affairs Council, and I serve in a staff status. Any questions for me? Nevaeh?
When is the Winterfest time?
11 to 2, or 11 to 1, sorry.
Yep. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. both days.
You can't make it?
I have two questions. Sorry, what's the date for the Winterfest?
No, February 11th and then February 18th. Those are both Tuesdays.
Truax?
Truax is on the 11th. Goodman South is on the 18th.
My second question, sorry, I might not know, but what's the student council?
Student, explain.
It's a shared governance council. So we have 6 shared governance councils. The top one being College Assembly, then there's 5 that follow with that. So you have facilities planning and investment, IT, academic, finance, and student affairs. Any other questions? Evan, I see your. It starts on Sunday, February 16th. The main part of what goes on is going to be on Monday, the 17th. And then the big part, which is talking to legislators, will happen on Tuesday, the 18th in the morning.
Yeah, I really recommend if you're interested in talking to legislators, I think it'd be worthwhile to, honestly, I'm going to be skipping some commitments, like work and class. So you can do what you need to do, but for me, it's important. So if you don't want to miss that, obviously, don't. I'm not going to advocate for you to miss school, but this is a pretty unique opportunity. So weigh your options and decide for yourself. If that makes sense.
All right, how you?
We'll find out. In any case, we can move on. Thank you, Cole. Reports from special and select committees, student activities board, VP Tao. Nothing, he's not here, but I can in his place say that we're gonna be having our first meeting this Friday, 1:30 PM to 3:30 PM. So Lando's also on the board. The thing that me and Lando worked on was like a compensation update. So unfortunately, well, fortunate but unfortunate is that we're looking at increasing the salary for the vice presidents. Yay. Unfortunately, you will not get to experience that because it's for next semester. So next, well,
I'm just kidding.
You will, but
budgets
us no.
budgets are locked in. So for the year, there are ways to change it, but yeah, that's kind of it. But that's the big thing for Senate that's getting updated. The vice presidents will get a higher amount, as will the general senators. I don't know exactly how much that's increasing. I know it's percent, so I don't know what it ended up being because I didn't look at the individual amount, but that's kind of something to keep in mind. Lando, you want to share something in addition?
I just wanted to add that Cole is also on that committee. And just if anyone's interested in specifically what we've been working on, we have like Kai said, we have our SAB meeting tomorrow, 1:30 to 3:30 in the health building. So just let me, Kai, or Cole know, and we can help you or invite you, or I think there is a meeting link that Ellie's gonna send out. So we'll try getting that to you if you're interested.
Yeah, and there will be a presentation on all of it once it gets presented to SAB. It's just I wasn't gonna do everything right now, Lando. That's all. But yeah, that's what's going on right now. If you do want to know more, you can ask us, but it'll be finalized after Friday and probably brought up next Thursday. So that was the plan all along. You revealed it. You revealed my trap card. Okay, moving on. Textbook Affordability Committee. I know, Cole, you were on that one, and it does meet from Thursday to 10:30 to 11:30, right?
Yes.
We don't have a student appointed to that currently, right?
No, so currently, Sierra, Senator Sierra Brunner is on it.
She is?
She has been at the last two,
Oh.
meetings. But yeah, there really is nothing much to report, as a lot of what they've been working on is, the communications that go out to professors about, when to have their class information in. Really, we haven't gotten much that would impact us student-wise. The only thing we really got statistically is as of graduation. Yes, as of graduation in the fall, we were still missing textbooks from approximately 5,500 students
5,500.
across all Madison College campuses.
What? That's a problem.
So yes, so I was trying to get follow up on that. I didn't get follow up on that. I also wanted to ask if we're missing 5,500 books. That would be obviously a different situation, but there was quite a few outstanding books that hadn't been returned by graduation, but they had until the week after graduation to return them either to the bookstore or through any of the drop boxes at any of the campuses.
Well, it's way past graduation now, right?
Correct. That was on the last meeting. They haven't had a meeting since December 12th.
And how is that going to affect the finances of the program?
So that's a good question. That's what I'm waiting for us at our next meeting to understand where does that come in, because there are late fees associated with that. And those late fees are then assessed to the students who do not turn the returnable books in on that time. What those fees are, I don't know the percentage of, but since it's at a discounted rate that it can be rented out, there are other fees associated if it's not returned by the given date. I want to say it's actually December 27th. No, that was when we were closed down.
Okay,
It
yeah.
was definitely the week after. So once we actually have the next meeting, which I'm thinking is in the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to present more information to y'all. As well as I'll make sure I'm gonna actually find out where those minutes actually get posted, because they weren't up yesterday. Maybe they're up right now for the last meeting.
Okay. The other thing I'd like you to ask about is how do you get a book to be included in that program? Like,
Sure.
Yeah, because I would like to know, because I have a class where you have to buy the textbook new. Doesn't matter as much to me because I get that like paid for through my program, but for other students, they don't. That's $100 that they have to pay for out of their own pockets. Like, I'm lucky, but they're not. So
100%, we can bring it back.
yeah, I would like to see, because these books, like, it's not like it can't be re-rented, and they've been rented in the past before, so I don't know why it's no longer the case. Like, what is the process for getting one back on there?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions? No. Okay. We can move on to student parent support group. Senator Crowder, do you have anything for us?
Just that we'll have a meeting next week. The last thing we did last month was to loop out to important parties to get feedback on the policy that was written. And we're just waiting for some of those individuals to respond in the
Okay.
report.
Okay, thank you so much. Moving on to inclusion belonging corner, currently vacant, but basically what this role does, for people in the room that don't know what it does, it's like they get involved with identity-based groups on campus. And well, you two are the ones that don't know. So yeah, they basically get involved with like student clubs that are identity-based groups. So groups like La Raza, like UCG, United Common Ground, IE, which stands for Intercultural Exchange, kind of those types of groups where you get like, I don't know, a bunch of student interests where they're involved and kind of connect with them and say like, hey, here's Student Senate, like, what are you interested in? How can we advocate on your interests? One thing that happened recently, I'm not this role, but I did reach out to La Raza and ask them like, hey, how do you feel about, like, are you doing anything related to, you know, the federal ICE agents and, you know, how our school is? So they're going to be doing an event, like a red card event
Yeah.
with, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, by the way, they do have the red cards already printed. So like, let's say you're approached by ICE agents. It's like, do you have the right to remain silent and all that? Like,
yep.
So it's really good. I liked it.
Yeah, so they're just teaching you your rights, but that's the kind of thing that you can get involved with, you know, like, you know, just in your personal life, but also through this role specifically, like, so it'll just compensate you for that time to kind of bring those interests to the Senate so we can talk about them. But that's all we got for that. Reports from regional metro campuses. Reedsburg campus, Senator Stacey Brenner.
No report.
Okay, did you get a chance to talk to the campus manager yet? I forget. I did want to set you up to talk to Shauna, I think her name is that correct?
No, it's,
Yeah.
I can tell you in a second.
Yeah.
Donna used to be the one.
I think it's Linda, but I have not yet.
Linda, yeah. Are you able to meet with her this month or next month, I guess, February?
Yeah, I will make an appointment to meet up with her and everything.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be good for you to get to meet like I don't know, I just want everyone to know who like the facilitators are. That way we can, you know, keep in touch with what's going on in those campuses. Because that's one thing that happened with, if you don't know this, there's like a regional campus shared governance body. And that's one of the things that they asked Senate to do. So I thought, oh, but what better way to do that than through the regional senators? So just something to keep in mind. Okay, moving on to Watertown, vacant. Portage, Senator Crowder, got anything for Portage campus?
No report.
Okay, I think nope, that was Watertown, so never mind. Don't have anything to add. Fort Atkinson campus, Senator Dirks.
No report.
Okay, and then Goodman South, Senator Bissonnette, not here. We can move on to reports from College Assembly and Shared Governance Councils. Big thing from College Assembly that, oh, do you have a question?
No, I just, Jose has a question on the mic, but I don't know if you want to.
We
You have
got
a
it.
question?
Oh, we got it set. We're gonna go.
Okay. College Assembly, President me. Okay, yeah, basically the big thing to update, you can fill in anything, was that we are gonna be changing the bylaws to have discussions, how we're gonna implement things from a shared governance implementation team. How do you get people, students specifically, more involved in shared governance? So that's one thing that they're continually working on, making sure that the process is all set up and trying to like make it efficient for how we get issues brought in to each of the shared governance councils. So it's kind of all a process type thing, I would say. And you know, we're working to make sure everyone's happy, all the constituents are brought in, and you know, we have a good representation of people that we're drawing information from. So I think that's the overall consensus, right? Cole, do you have anything to add? You were there, or?
I was not at this recent.
You were not this one. Okay, yeah. Yilong was also there, but he's not here today, so you have to rely on what I have to say. So there we go. Moving on, we can talk to unfinished business. I know that this meeting got a little, like, because we didn't plan for Dr. Thomas to come here, it ended up being a little longer. I'm hoping that maybe we can get a motion to table the winter retreat recap again, because I feel like we can pass the bill, we can pass that other bill, we can do the quick WSG nominations and get the poster done. And then we're gonna have to table some things. So I think we can honestly table the rubric, table the retreat recap. Does that sound good? I think we can get through everything else today. And the brainstorm, well, table the brainstorm session too, I think. Can we table those 3 items? So I would
table the
recommend, I
motion.
would ask, Yeah, motion to table the
I
three items.
second.
Okay. Second, okay, yep. Any discussion? Do we know what we're tabling? It's tabling the center winter retreat recap, the stipend review, and the 3-year plan brainstorm session. So I think we can get the other 3 things done. Does that sound good? No discussion? No further discussion? Okay. At this point, vote of unanimous approval. If no one's opposed, we can move on. Otherwise, it just takes one person to be opposed if you don't understand what's going on.
What's the stipend review?
Basically, we'll talk about the new stipend. That
For
we-
next
Add the money.
yeah, for this semester, like the rubric.
Oh.
Yeah, but we'll bring it up next semester, or bring it up next meeting then. But is that still okay? Okay, so no opposition in 5, 4, 3, 2, it just takes one person? Okay. We all seem to be good with that, so we can move on. Okay, so we're moving on with bill number 2, attendance policy update. So from the last time, I did take into account what Annette had to say. And I think hopefully Annette, you'll be happy with it. So nothing really changed. Oh, never mind. We came up with something. Okay, well, Annette, I have your thing here now. So can I just read out loud, Annette?
Yeah, go
Or-
right
okay.
ahead.
So Annette says, one concern is that it removes their option to use the appeal system in the future if they need it for something else. Oh, Annette, there's unlimited appeals.
Oh, I thought there was a limit on the number of points for the appeals that you
So
can
every
remove.
yeah, every appeal, you can only appeal 3 points at a time. But if you do it early, so basically that only becomes a problem if you don't appeal like later on. So if you appeal right away, you basically have unlimited, because if you appeal as every single point comes up, then there shouldn't be an issue. But I
Okay, so
see
there-
your, yeah,
So you're saying there's
basically-
not a cap. I just want to reiterate, I want to make sure I understand. There's not a cap on the number of points that you can appeal overall?
there is not, oh, yes.
You are correct. I just wanted to be one clarification is you can appeal any point, but you cannot appeal that instance twice.
Basically double jeopardy, yeah. So you can't have, once the
Okay.
appeal, if the appeal fails or passes, it won't be brought up again. So let's say that someone's later, let's say you get an appeal on a point and like the group forgives you and later out it's found out that you're a liar and it didn't work out. Well, too bad, you convinced everyone, so good on you for being a deceiver. So it works both ways. Whereas, I don't know, if it doesn't pass and then, I don't know, people just don't believe you for not, I don't know, not showing up or something like that, then basically, well, you're kind of SOL for that one because, I don't know, you didn't convince everyone, so you can't do it again. So it's basically double jeopardy either way. Does that make sense? Those are very extreme examples, obviously.
It does. It does. And I guess
Yeah.
the other reason why I bring this, so first of all, the reason why I didn't respond to you yesterday is because I wasn't online at all. And I guess this
Yeah.
is my example. The last day and a half, I've been in bed because my knee cramped up. And I wasn't doing anything but being in the dark and taking medications. So if today had been Thursday, you know what I mean? There would have been, like, I wouldn't have thought to notify you guys when I'm on Oxy and muscle relaxers.
Yeah, but no, you also already told us, like, it's not like it's coming
I'm
out of
just
the
using
blue.
that as an example.
Yeah.
I know that you guys know about my situation, but like if someone else had a different situation, or if I had to, go and pick up my kid because they weren't going to be staying for
Mhm.
whatever, or I don't know. I just want to make sure that parents are not penalized indirectly, I guess is my main concern. So however we can figure this out so that people who,
Yeah.
and not just parents, there are people who are also caregivers for adult children or for their parents themselves. So I just want to make sure that those instances are not penalized. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, so like I can imagine, so the way it works now is that the president and the advisor can decide to give you an excuse, just kind of like up to their discretion. Because the way it's built out, like they can choose to do that because of the unplanned circumstances or whatever it's called. So we can choose to do that. If you get a person that's unreasonable, let's say that, I don't know, people might think I'm not reasonable. So, if I ever go off the rails and go like, we're not giving you that, then you can ask the entire student body to forgive you for that, basically. So if you get everyone in Senate to say, hey, we forgive you for that, that should be fine. So basically, are your peers gonna be like, like, do you know your peers? Have you built up a reputation, a good reputation for that? So hopefully those two things are safeguards for what constitutes like, like being late or,
Okay.
you know, like showing up late versus being absent. So hopefully you would imagine that, I don't know, we all know you, Annette, so like we're willing to work with you because, you know, you told us, hey, I'm going through surgery. I'm like, you know what? Take your time. Like, here's some weeks, here's what our reasonable expectations of what we expect of you. Like we were very upfront with you. I would
Right.
hope that Cole, you'd continue that. So yeah, so does that make you feel better?
It does. Like I said, my whole goal is just to make sure that, people that are coming on to Senate in the future, that they're not getting indirectly penalized. That's all.
Yeah, and that's why I wrote that other section in there. Like I wanted to be explicit, if excused absence not granted, then Senate members may appeal that decision. So basically like spelling it out a little more. And now that we're more familiar with it, Cole's gonna be here next year. I don't know how many other senators are to hopefully Nevaeh and Hassan. So but like, some of that knowledge should carry over now that's in the bylaws. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, cool. I think someone else had their hand up. I didn't see who though. I thought someone did, or maybe that was just Annette. Did anyone else have their hand up on this? No?
I did.
Oh, yes. Stacy, what you got for us?
No, I was just gonna let you know that on the 26th of February, I will be having surgery. So I might be missing a meeting or two.
Okay. Yeah, we gave Annette 3 weeks off for that surgery.
Yeah.
What's her name? Stacy.
Stacy, we're wishing you best of luck for your surgery.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, are there any further concerns on this? I've tried to really work, understand the bylaws for you, Annette, to make sure that, it basically people, like you said, won't get penalized. It's supposed to be fair, make sure people are doing work, but, yeah, so people have an opportunity in case, they feel like it's not being fair. Does that make sense? Okay. Well, if that's the case, those are the only things that really change this point here, subsection G.5. So everything else is the same. And I don't know, I think I updated this part here to take off Ibrahima, who departed. So I need to send a message to him too. But if that's the case, are we okay? Are we good to vote on this? I think people aren't opposed to that. Okay. So we can now do a vote by roll call. I wish I printed this out.
Right.
Do you want to help me out here, Mr. Stand-in for Elon? So you want to just I don't know, write people's names down? We can do a vote by roll call. I don't vote on it because I'm the chair. I don't vote unless there's a case of a tie. But for the voting record, yep, do that. Or just put an X next to it.
Yeah, sure.
If they vote yes for that. So I'll work on that later.
Sure.
But in any case, voting record. So this is voting for a bill. The bylaws will be amended to add a new section to update the attendance policy and more clearly define the definition of late arrivals for General Assembly and committee meetings under Article 4, attendance, and Article 16, committees. Okay, that's what it is. And we can now do a vote by roll call. So Vice President of Administration and Finance, Elon Tao, not here, so just abstain. So, yeah, just write A. Sure, I'll decode that later. Vice President Legislative Affairs, Hassan Hashmi.
Yay.
Okay, yay. You can put a Y maybe, or X, yeah, X, sure. Vice President Team Development, Nohaya Salifu.
Yeah.
Okay, yes for her. Vice President Public Relations, Nevaeh Jackson Winters.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Senator Angel Avila. Perfect.
Yay.
Thank you. Senator Sierra Brunner.
Nothing.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Sierra Brunner, yes. Senator Declan Rafter, just back in time.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Senator Jose Villarreal. Oh, is Jose here?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yes for him. Senator Annette Crowder. Yes, perfect. Thank you. Senator Stacy Brunner. Did I hear abstain earlier or?
Is she, Stacy?
I think she's
Turner?
abstaining, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes, okay. Works for me. Fort Atkinson, Senator Lando Dirks.
Yes.
Thank you. And then Goodman South Senator Sylvia, not here. So, yeah, absent. So what do we got?
Okay,
It's confusing, right?
yeah, so give me 1 second. 1, 2, 3. Absence, are they like,
No, they don't count again.
so,
Yeah.
they don't count again, so
No.
yeah, it's approved.
Okay, great. Thank you,
Seven
everyone.
people voted.
This bill number 2, the carrying motion does pass. Thank you. Yay. That was all the way from December 5th. Sounds so long ago. Okay, now we can put that to rest and make sure to keep that in there because we'll need that voting record. Okay, we're moving on. What was next on the agenda? That passes to you. We can do resolution 9. So let me share my screen on that. This comes from Senator Declan Rafter, as well as, some people worked on him with it. So some people.
Yep.
Some people did. If you want to go ahead and introduce that, since you're the leading Senate member on this.
Absolutely. Do you want me to do the full read through?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll be your Vanna White.
This is a good spot because I don't get that camera. Okay. All the way from the top, right?
Yeah, I would start with like the title and then like the short title and then like the motion. That'd probably be good.
Okay, sounds good. This is resolution 9, traffic safety on Anderson Street. Student Senate supports the implementation of traffic safety on Anderson Street, considering the context of the 2025 remodeling project. A resolution, the formal motion. Student Senate determines that traffic safety measures on Anderson Street, including but not limited to a crossing guard and preemptive signage for drivers, would serve the best interest of the college community. Here's our primary reasoning. In 2022, 72 pedestrians were killed in 1,324 crashes between vehicles and walkers in Wisconsin, which follows a national trend where pedestrian deaths have attained a 40-year high. In Madison, 71 people have lost their lives on the road in the past 5 years, and this includes 17 pedestrians and 5 cyclists, according to the city of Madison. In line with the city of Madison, Madison College should uphold the goal of 0 traffic-related pedestrian deaths. As little as a 5-mile-per-hour reduction in the speed limit would decrease the likelihood of mortality in the student body, which is why we're going to recommend that later or step towards that. Students are crossing Anderson Street in a much higher volume due to the current remodel. We're talking specifically the area between Stoughton Road and Wright Street, which highlights the issue of traffic safety on the roads around Madison College. The portion of Anderson Street right between Truex and the Foundation Building is engineered in such a way that drivers are often speeding up to compete for a position in the right lane. Right, that left lane turns into a turn lane, and everyone wants to get through to the parking lots. The implementation of unrelenting safety measures would be the only short-term option to reduce the likelihood of tragedy. I want to really emphasize that. I went for an appointment and it was not a good moment there. We, the Student Senate, for the reasons stated above, support this resolution to facilitate short-term and longitudinal safety measures on the roads adjacent to Madison College. All right, here are the actionable elements that we came up with. Student Senate resolves to support Madison College Public Safety Services in their efforts to implement the following measures: A, preemptive signage; B, a crossing guard; C, walking flags similar to on Monroe Street years ago; speed limit reductions, and a police presence around Truex and adjacent buildings to enforce those speed limit reductions. And here are references at the bottom on Wisconsin Public Radio and the Madison Police Department discrete summary of traffic incidents.
And then, yeah, you'll get your
Be
conclusion.
it enacted by the Student Senate of Madison College assembled that Student Senate determines that traffic safety measures on Anderson Street, including but not limited to a crossing guard and preemptive signage for drivers, would serve the best interest of the college community.
Okay, thank you very much. At this point, I guess it's been motioned and there is a the co-sponsors, so we can have discussion because that's kind of like that's the motion that's made and the co-sponsors make the, what's it called? The second for that. So time for discussion. Lando, is that for Lando? Yep, I do see Lando.
Perfect.
Yep. So, Declan, I did have a few questions about the speed limit adjustment in particular. So, do you know if the city of Madison owns Anderson Street or is it owned by the college? 'Cause I don't know how that all works.
Yeah, the street's owned by City of Madison. Yep.
So then would we have to go directly to the city of Madison and request this change if we wanted it? Or is there something we can do at the college? You know, maybe have like, someone on the board go and convey that, hey, we made this student senate request speed limit change on Anderson Street. Like, would we have any power to actually implement that?
Yes, so in the chat, actually, the mayor is coming on Tuesday, and we might be able to bring it up then. Beyond that, you're right, we might want to use Madison College as a liaison. We wouldn't want to go directly necessarily. I don't think that's impossible, but best practice would be to use the board. I agree. I also didn't put it in the actual elements for any kind of speed limit reduction because I want to achieve the short-term goals first. But the idea is that eventually we would try and implement that.
Okay. And then I had one more question here. So regarding the crossing guard position, is that going to be a position filled by someone in public safety, or is it going to be open to students to apply for? And sort of, how are we thinking that position is going to be funded? Will it be a full-time position through the college, or will it be public safety funds it with their own money?
Firstly, I'm going to follow up with public safety and see what they can provide. But then if we did want to create a student position, that would require appropriations of some kind, and that should be considered.
That's all I had. Thank you, Declan.
Okay, great. I just want to take this, I do see you, Jose, but I just want to take this opportunity to ask, the two of you have been coming here to these meetings, and the last one was kind of a bill, it was stuffy, but I don't know if any of you have any feedback to offer based on hearing this, I feel like this is kind of something that maybe brought the two of you into here, like talking about like these issues, right? So I don't know if any of you have, I don't know, something to say about it or personal experiences to weigh in on the matter. Yeah, Quinn?
I did not know what the foundation building was until last week.
Well, now you know.
Now I know. A friend had to go there to set up a meeting. And we were walking around during the fire drill or emergency or something. And he wanted to pop over and get it done then, and I walked over then. And it was not terrible. This was late morning, I think, or midday. But I imagine, especially when it's busier, if you get out of classes like mid-afternoon, that's an awful road to cross. I actually I like the idea of the crossing flags, just because the bright color and the movement of like having it in your hand, I would hope would draw eyes of drivers to people who are trying to cross. I'm trying to recall if there's actually a crosswalk at all, or if there is, it was not visibly apparent in that I don't recall there being one at all. There is one.
Yeah.
They could do zebra stripes instead. That might be a lot more visible.
I definitely want to add on and say that I agree with him completely, because I have a club that I'm a part of, and we've been touring that area since our company is part of Rides, and that's where we have to meet with them. And plus the change of all of those. I really like his idea about somebody standing there and then walking people across, making sure they're visible. Because while I was crossing, a lot of cars, they were cutting short. They're cutting short, and then that reduction to speed would definitely be very helpful too.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to prevent this all, like, and Declan too, obviously. So Declan's like main cause, but yeah, Declan, you really wanted to make sure no one dies beforehand, right? This preventative measure, right?
Right, yep.
Yeah.
Granted.
Yeah. So no, I think that's really important. Also, are you going to Miami to?
Yeah,
Yeah, you are. I had a chance to go, but I'm tax season, so it would have been fun. We could have been roommates again, but maybe not this year, so it's all right. Okay, who was online? So I think Jose first, and then Evan can go. So I didn't forget you, Jose.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, we could. Some feedback I would have for you, Ducklin, would be the crossing guard position. We could also open that up to, if possible, open it for like a volunteer position for the public. And you know, if there's some like a retired police officer or retired teacher, or somebody that's a very good Samaritan in the community that wants to take that upon themselves to be a crossing guard, because there's a need for it. And I think your resolution really lays it out why. And it's a very well thought out, very well written, and I support it 100%. And I thank you for the time that you put in to write it up, bud. That's all I got.
Any response for Mr. Jose?
I like the idea of opening it up to a volunteer position a lot because that would really solve the issue of funding.
And we could make it through volunteer center too. You know,
Right.
right? We
Yeah.
gotta ask them. So we got those connections. I do see Evan online and then Hassan in person. So Evan, what you got for us?
I think my question was actually unintentionally answered, but basically I was going to ask if it was going to be a paid position or not, and if so, where we would get the money from, and if it would directly affect our budget to pay the individual that applies to that position.
There is money available in the student activities fees, technically, as I know, because I work with that budget a lot. So theoretically, if we wanted to present it to the SAP, we could short-term fund it through that. I don't think that's like fully appropriate immediately or like forever, but I do think that in the short term, to make sure that students don't die, I don't know, Declan, what do you think? You're the one that mastermind behind this, so.
Those SAB meetings are on Fridays, correct?
You can come if you want, yeah. If you want to come, it's 1:30 to 3:30 in like the health building. And so I guess Lando is right. There is someone interested. So I didn't think anyone would be, but yeah, good on you, Lando, for inviting. So yeah, we can get that information to you. You can come to it too. It's gonna be a big budget meeting. So if you want to learn about where the budget funds are going towards and how we're raising funds and spending them, yeah, you can come learn this Friday. Should be fun.
Okay, I'll see if I can work it in.
Okay, I think we saw Hassan in person and then Annette online. So
Yeah.
Hassan.
So just to clarify, this is like a solution for short term, right?
Yes, the actionable elements are short term.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking about, I don't know, there's two solutions that I also see to add here. There's some like electronic monitors that tells you how much you're like speeding or how much you're above the speed. It's like, you guys drive cars, so it's like,
Preemptive signage.
oh, sorry. Okay, I didn't know the name. And then what do you think about speed bumps?
It's definitely.
That's an infrastructure project. We
Okay,
could push
you want-
for it,
yeah.
we could recommend it, but I think our ability to affect something like that, I mean, the same thing with preemptive signage, it's limited in the short term. We can definitely like try, but.
Okay, so the preemptive signage, I think they have like they have like the temporary ones where you can just hook it up to a car and then when there's a construction happening, they put that on the pavement or wherever, and then they can take this, like after 3 or 2 months, they can, like a temporary one, right?
Yeah, that's kind of why I put it on there because I
Okay.
figured it'd be a
Yeah, yeah.
little easier than changing the road.
Thank
Yeah, I think if someone does get seriously injured, like that would be like the first thing that would be
Yeah.
like, you need it, where you're gonna pay for this, because no one else is gonna get hurt. Because that could happen. I mean, we went over the speed limit signs, or was it like if you're at 40 miles per hour, it's like a 90% chance of fatal injury or serious injury or fatality. So, yeah. Who did I say? I forgot. Annette and then Evan, I guess.
I just dropped it in the chat really quick, in case this is something that, someone wants to bring the FPIC to our meeting. This is when our next meeting is. It'll be next, Wednesday from 1 to 2:30 PM. And I can work
That's actually
on,
very, I can send this, yeah.
I'll work on dropping the link in there for the meeting too.
Okay, thank
That's all
you
I
for
have.
sharing that. Yeah, our FPIC representative, Annette, thank you. Evan,
I was just gonna say in regards to the temporary speed limit monitor or whatever, I mean, in theory, it sounds like a great idea, but I can't tell you how many people I've seen just completely blow through them regardless of it being there. So I'm not sure if that would necessarily be a good use of our money slash time. Um, Also, when it comes to speed bumps, I feel like that would be incredibly expensive and very hard to, get it passed. I don't really know how that works, how you would get the permits to, basically build a speed bump on that road, but I just think that would be quite expensive, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to safety, we do have to think about cost effectiveness, which is going to be the more effective option, but we also have to be aware of the perfectionist fallacy. The idea of some benefit is better than none at all.
Right.
any further comments on this?
Yeah, just bouncing off that real quick, do you think something like a temporary speed monitor would be beneficial?
Sometimes I don't look at my own speedometer, and if there's a flashing light, it definitely calls awareness to the issue. I personally, on principle, don't like to go too far over the speed limit, but sometimes that's just negligence on my part, and having that extra barrier, that extra gateway really keeps me from going too far.
Yeah, I'll say that, Evan, we did a research study. I see you there. We did a research study and we saw that what's it called? Those signages decrease the average speed by 2.9 miles per hour. So not much, but it is something. Because a speed reduction of just 5 miles per hour, it brings you down by like almost 20% of like fatality. So I think that, at a certain point, you're gonna get diminishing returns. But at the high level, if people are really going 40 miles per hour, if you bring them down to 35, when you get hit by a 35 mile per hour car, that's a lot less damaging than a 40 mile per hour car. I'm
It
sorry,
might
that's
save a
pretty
life.
gruesome, but
No,
that's
you're
just
right.
reality.
You're totally right.
It could happen. So
We're talking about.
yeah, that's why we're talking about it. Quinn, I see your hand.
For clarification, are the speed monitors that you're mentioning, are those large, bright light?
The yellow ones, yeah, like
Yeah.
with construction.
Construction.
Yeah, like that's what you meant, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I think, okay.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, if someone does become seriously injured, I'd say like that's probably the most immediate thing we could implement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nevaeh Jackson Winters, Senator, Vice President. Wow.
I'm just wondering, like, is there any like cameras over there? Like, I'm not sure if there's like cameras.
Answer to that, I don't.
I think
You know
that
Declan.
might be a good thing to
I don't think so.
invest in, because like if something were to happen, like I don't know, like today I was walking and like over to the foundation center. Well, and like I was like standing there and like literally like when I like pressed the button, like no car stopped. Like 2 cars went past and then 1 car stopped for me. So it's like I don't know, like
Are we allowed to use this statement? I mean, we can if we want to, because it's public record now, but I want your permission.
yeah.
Okay, we'll tell Dr.
Like,
Thomas
it literally happened
and
today, like 2 cars passed by when I put the button and only 1 car stopped for me. Like that don't even make
no, we can definitely look into that. I think if pending this resolution passes either today or next week, we can like tell Dr. Thomas and Dr. Ramirez about that. Does that sound like something you'd be willing to do? Yeah, okay. Would you want to take a lead on that?
Yeah.
Or- Okay, I'll leave it to you. Okay, yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, speaking of cameras, actually where else we need to put a camera is when we go to the parking lot. That area is also like dangerous because there's a car could run away and God forbid hit someone. And I don't know if the public safety have access if the car ran on over someone. So like, where you go to the parking lot, it's a different topic, but I guess one day we can create a resolution about that street too. I don't know what's that street called. The parking lot.
The big one or
The one.
so there's Wright Street, which is over there by the parking lot. And then
Oh.
Anderson Street's the one that you cross to get to the foundation building.
Oh, we're talking about Wright Street?
We're talking about Anderson.
Yeah, the Wright Street is also like kind of dangerous too.
Really?
Yeah, there's
Because
no,
there's speed bumps there, aren't there?
The
There's like
crosswalks are like slightly raised.
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
remember Right Street.
Nobody care either.
but,
You
Really?
go over those 25, 30 miles per hour.
but like most importantly, we need cameras just in case.
Maybe I'm just super oblivious when I cross the street. I just walk.
Right.
Okay, well, now there's some renewed caution in my life. I don't want to become the example that why
I'm
you need
surprised
this
there's like
resolution.
no cameras there.
I do know this. So public safety, if you've ever had the opportunity to walk into public safety, Declan, have you ever walked in there?
Go into the actual.
Into the office, yeah. Well, I've had the opportunity. It's kind of like that scene from The Dark Knight. You walk in and it's like Lucius in there with all this big screen with all the cameras around the city. It's kind of like that for Madison College. So they have a huge like room full of cameras and you can see like all of them at once. So they want more cameras. So I'm sure they would love us saying they need more funding for more cameras and higher quality cameras. I know that's something that they want. So yeah, if we play it up, I'm sure they would love to collaborate with us on ways for them to get more funding for advanced cameras and more cameras, something like this. So yeah, Quinn.
Although I don't know if cameras are exactly a preventative measure, like
Oh.
the speed monitor, I think scares people into slowing down because it reminds them that they are being monitored, even if speed monitor is not like, isn't gonna send them a ticket or anything. Something to keep in mind,
No, that's important.
preventative.
Yeah, I wonder if we could like issue like a fake ticket to someone who speeds through and then get a news story in there like, damn, this student got a ticket for going fast. Someone take one for the team. Ain't gonna be me though. Okay, I think people are saying things in chat, but it's hard for me when I have my screen open. So what has everyone been saying in
They've
chat?
just been talking about who can they contact representative wise about these concerns.
Oh, Amani Latimer, how would you like to meet with an alder, Declan, if you have time?
Yeah, from District 12.
Okay, how would you like to talk to the mayor on Tuesday?
Yeah, well, that's definitely.
So you're gonna go to it? Okay, well, I'll see you there, so that'll be good. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of people's concerns. Is your hand up?
No, sorry.
No? Okay, but anyone who hasn't talked yet, is there anything that you want to say that haven't been able to say? I didn't hear from Angel or Nohaya. Nothing to say. Generally agree with all this. Okay, Angel, you got anything for us? Oh, thumbs up there. Who hasn't talked? Sierra and Stacy, does this all sound good to you generally? I know that you're not exactly on the campus much, but generally you probably agree with safety measures, I'm guessing. I don't know, you can do what you want.
I agree with the safety measures because the times that we have in there,
Mhm.
you know, people do what's called flying by through there, even when it says stop for pedestrians. So it's just not a safe place. Oh, Jesus.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I forgot it. Oh, the microphone. Different slippers for her, but they're the same foot, different sizes.
Damn, I can't wait to use that little clip to be like in the Senate compilation video at the end of the year. I'll be like, oh Jesus. So, that'll be good. So just remember, this is all recorded. Okay. Anyone else? Otherwise, are we good on conversation? Annette, I know you always usually have like a wise point or two to say right at the end. Anything from Annette? Ice packs being changed. No worry, no worry. Got anything for us, Annette, though? Or I guess you're in the middle of something, so not you. Orlando, you're one that was really interested in this bill or resolution at first. Nothing, Orlando, or
I don't have anything additional.
nothing additional? Okay. Well then, if that's the case, is that the end of discussion? Yeah. Okay, everyone's saying yes. Okay. Well then, at this point, we can do because it's been properly motioned, seconded, we did discussion, we can do a vote by roll call. At this point,
Oh, yeah. I guess, this is.
oh,
for
you
the-
just put that, perfect.
Yeah, but this is for the deck. Okay.
Thank you, though.
Sure, yeah. All right. VP Tao, absent. VP Hashmi, yay.
Mark that in there, the double. For him.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, yeah, just put record it, yeah.
VP Solico,
Yeah.
VP Jackson Winters,
Yes.
VP Villa. Sorry, not a VP. Yay. Senator Sierra Brunner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Senator Raptor.
Abstain.
I just want for the record, a point of information.
Senator-
Point of information, you can vote for your own. You don't have to, but it's up to you.
No, I'm abstaining.
Okay, cool.
Senator Villarreal.
Senator Villarreal, yay.
Senator Crowder.
Yes.
Senator Stacy Brunner.
Yes.
Senator Dirks.
Yes.
One more.
Senator Busenet.
Gone, so I'm abstaining. What's the results? Hold on.
Nine yes, and then 3 absents.
Mhm. Well,
Passes.
yeah, with 9 yes and 3 abstains, 9 yeses, 0 nos, and 3 abstains. This motion to pass resolution 9, traffic safety on Anderson Street, passes. Congratulations, Senator Raptor, on your first resolution passed. Okay, we have 8 minutes and we can get on to the rest of the meeting and finish on time, hopefully. Let me stop sharing, figure out how to do that. Where is this? So we did say we were gonna skip. Oh, this is what we're not skipping. Oh, okay, WSG governor nominations. The only thing is that, are you interested in being in WSG? There is a, what's it called? We have an open governor position. Is anyone interested in that role specifically? Are you potentially interested still, or we're just collecting names, not doing an election now? Just want names. If you're interested in being the governor of WSG, like, speak now. We'll just collect your names and send you out information tomorrow.
If it's last semester, that matters.
something
College
like that,
doesn't
right?
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, sure.
Sure, okay. Did I hear someone from someone online?
Lando as well.
Lando? We're gonna write your name down. We'll send some information out tomorrow. Okay, anyone in the audience potentially interested? Because you could be inducted next meeting and then throw your hat in the nomination. I don't know if you're interested in that.
Do you want to send me information so I know what you're talking about?
Let me send you information, yeah, so.
I'll send you, yeah.
Okay, I'll send the information to the 2 of you, so you have that. Anyone else interested? I don't know. Okay, so we can move on from that, which send more information to them. Now, the thing that you've all been waiting for, elections, marketing strategy, and poster. Take it away, VP Jackson Winters and Senator Raptor yet again. Should we pull something up on Canva?
Flyers.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, if you can do it, otherwise, let's see. I think I might have it open. I do not.
I got it. Yeah, maybe start with the application flyer. If you want to pull it up on Canva, that's the latest version. I made a few edits. Sure.
Oh, so you want me to put the one that you created?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
sure.
I
We
just
could
wanted
do
to make sure.
the application first, and then I do have a second one. It's more just an outreach, like get people to.
I don't know. I have this poster up right now. I kind of want to pull it up.
That one?
That one.
Which version is it?
I don't know. It's just the one I found, but we'll let Cole do it.
Yes. Yeah, that's the outreach one. That's
Okay.
more just trying to get some traffic on the website. I would like to run that past people in the PA here because.
All right.
It's a little edgy, so.
You got it, Kohler? Okay, perfect.
Yep, it's going.
Okay, yeah, so this is the one I was working on last week, and I'm open to any feedback, critiques, design changes. This is the time.
I kind of just noticing that a lot of the font is inconsistent, and maybe that's like a me thing, but maybe trying to keep it a little bit consistent.
Okay, which one do you like the most out of that?
I like the one, I like the one at the top that says student senate. I also like the one at the bottom with the 2.5 cumulative GPA.
Would you like me to take where policy is priority and put it in the same font as student senate and the apply for as well? Like that 3.
You can play around with it and just send it to me or something.
I might agree with you. I love that policy, student senate better. Because I feel like with that font, the eligibility and 2.5 commit, the GPA one is like too distracting.
I would actually switch the logo and the QR code, and I'd make the QR code bigger and the logo smaller.
Agree.
Yeah, because I think people might have challenge like putting their
Yeah.
like when it's that small.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I think people, I don't know, like they'll see the student senate. You saying something, son?
Yeah. Can you scroll down? It was just
That's cool.
You want me to do?
like scroll down a little bit, or is it just all that?
The content at the top
Oh,
is
yeah.
just, it's our photo at the bottom.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe
You're in this.
the boxes behind us,
Mhm.
they're kind of distraction.
True. Yeah.
Okay.
Either the logo or like the boxes. The boxes are like a bit in between. So
Okay, so I'll play around with removing the graphics from the bottom right or making them smaller, a little bit more diminutive. I do want to keep that asymmetry in the design. So coming from opposing corners like that was my initial idea. There are also ways to make that a little bit less apparent or less busy. So I'll just play around with that a little bit.
Or maybe move it up, because if you had to switch the logo down and put the QR code in the same, put it as a logo with that one in the back, they have like the same like, I mean, how do I say it? It's the same object, like it's all like, I don't know how to say it in English. It's the same figure. It's the same figure
They're
as the
congruent.
logo, as the. Sorry, my mind. But like
I
move it,
understand.
yeah, or probably just switch it. You see, when you say like apply, probably read this one down and put the other one up back there. So it's not going to be like the same design if you move the logo and the QR code.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
I really like how you I really like the apply part, apply for, like the A is really big. I don't know, I really like that. And also I really like the photo that you put and the QR code. I really like the design, especially the one at the like top with the lines. I really like that. And I also like the squares, but like people said, it could be like distracting, but and it's also more darker than the lines, so the squares pop out more. But yeah, and I also like the color scheme of it.
Yeah, can you make the squares like more transparent, like on the transparency bar? If you just like do that, I think that would make it less distracting for everyone. Also, yeah, I want to agree. Like, I don't know, we've given you a lot of pointers, but I don't know. I feel this way when people criticize my stuff, so I'm just gonna tell this to you. I generally like it. Like it is good. I think it's funny the picture that we took. So thank you, Nevaeh, for making us all take that picture. And then I don't know. I think it's funny that we have like Evan and Quinn in there too. I'm like, dang, I guess they're part of Student Senate now. But yeah, no, I think we had a lot of fun with it, and hopefully that gives people the idea that we're not a stuffy group, and we do stuff. Evan said something like a different approach you could take would be like you talk, we listen instead of where policy is priority. I think either are fine. And actually, what I'd recommend is having two designs, and then like just taking the same poster and having like multiple versions of it and just print out half of whatever you would originally print out. And then you get two designs.
Mhm. Yeah, right, I can always, yeah, go ahead and change that up. Okay, these are, yeah, this is a nice list of feedback. I really appreciate that. That definitely wasn't the final, so.
Sure.
And that's kind of why I diversified the fonts a little bit. I just wanted to see what people liked. And then, yeah, I mean, I agree, maybe I'll do half and half.
Can you give us better, like, can you brighten us up too? I don't know if there's a way to like make our, because we look kind of dull in that picture. Like, the brightness of it. Does that make
Maybe I'll
sense?
change the saturation on it.
Something like that, like, I don't know, like increase our lightness or, I don't know, I'm not a photo guy, so.
You can.
Do you know what I'm talking
edit
about?
photo
The
and-
contrast or brightness or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of know stuff, not really. Limitations of an accountant.
Just numbers.
I'm a numbers guy.
Next. My poster.
Okay, next poster. We're a little over time, sorry, everyone. But I promise we're done
Voice
after
for the
this.
student body, I like that, Jose.
Is that what Jose wrote?
Voice for
Okay,
the
let's
student
say.
body. I'm writing that down.
He's got a future in marketing, everyone. Maybe his second committee should be, public relations.
What's the next one?
You can show the one that I was working on. I don't remember which one it was. It was kind of. And then we can save the best for last.
Okay, I already know what the last one is. But is the student center general assembly meeting or?
It was the one that you told me to work on where I made an extra page.
Yep, all right. Yeah.
Baby basic needs or?
So,
Okay, I'll be back. You have control.
Yep.
You said Wi-Fi.
I'm gonna pull up the first one, then I'll show the second one, okay?
Okay, this is not the one that I worked on.
I said I'm gonna show this one first,
Oh,
and then I'll
okay,
show
yeah.
the second one. So just this is one of the initial ones that we have. We want to have as many different versions of this as possible. So we have this one that is most likely going to go out virtually to everybody. So the ones you've seen before, we will do physical printouts for it and everything. So like the one that Declan created and the one that I'll show you now that Nevaeh had worked on. Reason we're showing you all these though is because we're going to have at least 5 to 6 different marketing things here just in general, because realistically, we have over 17,000 people we have to reach for elections. Currently, as it states in the last email we sent from Trevor to Nevaeh, of 17,000, we've had 5,640 people open our email about elections or applications.
How many people?
Like 5,000 and some change.
The Wolfpack email?
Yep. So, all right, go ahead, Nevaeh.
Yeah, this is my poster that I work on. Give me any feedback. I'm open to that. Yes.
So the checker portion's up at the top by the word student. I wonder if it would be possible to pull them slightly away from the letter so that they have a little bit more separation.
That makes sense. Okay. Yes.
I don't know, currently enrolled in a 6th degree. Oh, I see that, sorry. I was gonna say there is 6 number for that.
Is there any way you can do like a arrow from where you say eligibility to run and then remove the line when you say currently and do like an arrow to be like down here?
Oh.
Because when I saw it first, I saw eligibility to run. I was confused. I thought it was on the QR code until I read down there.
What do you mean?
You have to like arrow like this or arrow
So the
like this?
QR code?
So like, no, not the QR code. So basically, what if eligibility run was on the left side and then like the words were like on the right side, you had an arrow pointing to it to draw your attention to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so we know that is a eligibility to run actually.
Yeah, because it's hard to read when it's vertical.
And they have this line between, so remove the line, put the eligibility to run, probably on the sides.
She's talking about this line, to
Yes,
remove
the
it and then just make an arrow.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
or
yeah.
just like put this one on the left side and put like a bar and then put everything on the right side, so we know that is a eligibility anyway, that you need to run.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
Sorry, go ahead.
Sure. I actually don't like it when you ask, like, want to join a student organization that represents all Madison College students? No, bye. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I would have people say that. Because, so I tend to stray away from asking people like that yes or no question. Because I think people look at it, think in their head, no, I don't care about this, and they'll just throw it away. But I think you have to the goal isn't to ask them that question. The goal is to get them to be interested enough that they'll like click the QR code and be like, oh, that could be interesting. QR code click. You know what I mean? But that's why I don't like to ask those questions personally.
What do you think, like, why you should join?
Something like that, something more, yeah, like more flashy.
We could just say.
Well, no, that's what we're helping.
Oh,
Yeah, just take one, two.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can,
just like, yeah, join, yeah. Easy.
Yeah, join a student organization that represents all Madison College students.
Mhm.
yes, I give you his answers.
I like that student election is really big
Mm.
because I feel like people are gonna be looking at this from like far away. Or are these, all sorry, I should ask, are these all emailed? Or
This one is printed.
this is printed? I feel like that's really important to have it like visible and readable from afar and not like something that someone has to like squint at and walk closer to. And if they want to, and like student election, that's interesting, then they can and they can read the fine print. Just wanted to throw that out there because this was the only one that I saw with that. If I was walking past it, I would immediately know what it was about without actually deciding to read it.
Thank you.
Does someone else have anything?
Yeah, I just don't think of in my mind. What if you get back like be the student representative?
Mm,
Like,
good.
what do you think about it? Instead of they want to join or join, they say like be the next generation of student organization that represent our Madison College.
Do you like that?
I mean, it's just some idea that in my mind.
I'm open to anything. I just, the wording part is hard for me, so.
Sure, we can take a look at it and like get back to you on
Yeah,
some wording, but I
like-
think that was.
Like not join, just like be the next. I was like, oh, what is it about? And then I go to the QR code and see like, oh, it's about this and that. I mean, just some.
Something like that.
You could use Jose's quote.
Yeah, let's.
See the change you want to see in student senate.
The change you want to see in student said. There we go. Some people, yeah, Jose, we saw that. We were just letting people in line say, in person say it, but yeah, we saw that. So who's online?
Annette's first.
Okay.
So I just wanted to mention that if I understand correctly, they don't have to be enrolled this semester. They need to be enrolled the fall semester with 6 degree credits in order to run. Because my understanding was people incoming could run for student senate.
So at the time that they are offered the position, they must be enrolled in 6 credits for
The fall.
they can, so yes, I see what you're saying. So if somebody, well, so the kicker to that is, so they would still have to be enrolled in classes at this time to be considered a student.
Well, then couldn't I run? Because I could just run and then be like, I'm president, y'all, again. Bye.
Well, I'm talking about so like prospective students. So like a prospective student couldn't. But you're right, it comes down to enrolled in 6 degree credits at Madison College. It would be for the fall, but to be able to run in the spring here for the fall, you'd have to be a student currently. Am I getting your question? Because I think I heard you're saying for perspective, but like somebody couldn't come to Wolfpack Welcome in August and say, okay, I'm gonna run now, if they haven't gone through like orientation or register for classes. Am I getting that correctly, Annette?
Yeah, and for some reason, I thought we had a number of new students that ran last spring that weren't students yet at Madison College. And I might be misunderstanding or might have missed something there, but I just wanted to, I guess, make sure that we clarify whether they need to be enrolled right now or they need to be enrolled with 6 credits as of the fall semester.
Okay, let's follow up with you on that, because I don't think we have a clear answer, so we'll get back to you.
And then the only other thing I was going to say was just basically what Jose said, the voice of the student, something along that lines to kind of like summarize in a short amount of words of like what the position is. Or if we want to include a little bit of additional information, like, I think I mentioned this earlier in the semester that I think it's important that new senators coming into the position, that they understand some of the duties right away, that you're going to have, 2, 3 office hours, whatever it is, like putting some of the criteria or expectations on there as well, so that we hopefully have less turnover because we don't have student senators going, oh, I didn't know it involved this much time.
Thank you. Evan, what's up?
No, the idea of the voice give me some idea for the flowers. Can you just like be the voice of all Madison College students and then say student senate is holding on elections? Do it like simple. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, you guys can text me all these ideas.
I'll write on the
Or just
group.
put them in the chat, put them in the
Yeah.
chat, they'll all be there. Evan,
Yeah, anyway, this is kind of a cliche question, but going back to you, Kai, I know you said you try to kind of stray away from things like, want to join a student organization that represents all Madison College students. How would you rephrase that to better market it to the students around us? Like I said, cliche question. You don't even have to answer, but
Sorry, was that a question to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what?
basically is how would you want to rephrase this? That isn't want to join, like, how would you rephrase it to get people more like directly involved?
Honestly, Nohaya said it best, like, be part of an organization that, does these things.
I just switch it.
Oh, you did?
Be the voice
Be the
of
voice.
all Madison College students.
Yeah.
Then say student senate is holding on elections. I think that would be simple and clear. You know what you have to do. Be the voice of the students of Madison
Yeah.
College. What do you have to do for that? Here's a QR code.
Yeah.
Your eligibility to run. Simple.
I also wonder, do we need to have the eligibility to run on the poster? Can that be something that's in the QR code?
It is, but Ellie did say, at least for the bulk of it, so if we have it on the rest of the marketing, it's fine.
Mhm.
But she does want that because that is the number one question that is always asked.
Oh,
Is what do I have to do to run? Or, if I'm enrolled in continuing ed, she just told me like, you need,
Okay.
it should be on these for the simple fact that it'll help save us some time. But if this one's not, that's not a problem because the rest of them that will be coming out while applications are open do. So like,
okay.
the preemptive ones won't, but the preemptive ones also take them to the application. And you're right, the first page you see on the application says to be eligible to apply.
Okay.
Insert X here.
Perfect. Okay, no, I didn't know that was so sure, we'll have it on there then. Yeah, but, I think Nohaya had some good ideas for wordings. Is there anything else online?
I'll put it on the group chat.
Okay.
Lennon said, we advocate for you, and I think that maybe at some point we want to include that in another flyer.
Yeah, so like, we advocate for you, be the change you want to see at Madison College. What else do we have?
But
We had
But just make the whole sentence and see like how it feel like, because one word sounds great, but in the sentence how it look like.
yeah, we can have multiple.
We advocate for you.
Yeah, I think we can have multiple versions too, because like, we print out however we want. So if we're gonna print out like 50 of them, like we can have like 15 each, so that'd be 60 now. But like, if we had 4 different things that we all liked, we could print all of them. It would just be like, there wouldn't be as many of all the single one, but it actually might be interesting to have multiple different ones. Because you look at it and say, wait, I thought I saw this poster the other place, but I feel like that's different. Then maybe they'll go back and be like, what? Like this is different than that. Maybe it'd be interesting.
And all of this will be in Canva. So everything
Okay.
you've seen up to this point is in Canva.
Okay, yeah.
Under the Student Senate election
Yes.
marketing. So
I do have
all different parts of, like, all of our stuff that we'll have will be there. There will be multiples of everything.
Yay.
Linda sent something, be the change you want to see at Madison College.
That was what you said, right? Yeah.
That sounds great.
No, Andy endorses it. That's perfect. Okay, are we set on these posters? Like, we have good direction
If
next
you
week?
have any criticism or anything, just feel free to message me.
Compliments to the authors, to the designers. I was gonna say chef, but you're not a chef, or maybe you are. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. We have another one too, so.
You have another one?
Oh, yeah, okay, so let's run this one pretty quick because
Yeah,
I have an appointment.
the last one.
Right, so, yeah, just general feedback, but we'll keep it brief. Do you wanna pull that one up?
Yeah, let me do it now. Is this the funny one you made?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that's right,
This
that's
one-
right.
This is
The
an outreach.
funny or
Liar. It is a little freaky, and so I just want to get a general, you know,
I'm just reading the title.
so I might just like pull it up and then get a division of the assembly on that, so. And then, any feedback in the chat, but I also want to be conscious of time here. So this is, the one that I made. I kind of went a little overboard on it. I can't lie.
Who's that in the background?
That is actually an AI generated image.
Oh.
I typed in freaky smiling politician. And then I did some edits to
Okay.
make it a little less busy. But I really wanted to evoke a 1984 feel. Really like something that was gonna catch the eye and be like,
Yeah.
whoa, what's happening? And that's just to promote engagement. The QR code links to a website. So it's something Student Senate is listening to you. Initially, it was Student Senate watching you, but that's a little too out of pocket. But yeah, at this point in time, I'd like to motion for a division of the assembly. Just to get a general idea of the opinion on it.
Oh, you put a sticker, right? With the handout, the things.
We are kind of out of time. I would prefer not, so, but we can do what we want, I guess.
I mean, we late anyway, so we can do it.
Or we can just continually, do you want like suspend Robert's rules or stuff like that? I mean, it's up to me how we implement Robert's rules. We can just all comment. If I choose not to enforce it, that's one way to do it. But yeah, are you attached to this motion?
No, really.
Okay, yeah, because we're over time. That's mostly the reason why.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we can
Declan.
we can just comment on.
Yeah,
the-
leave comments in the chat, what you think of it. I obviously don't want to be trying to disseminate this if anyone's strongly opposed, so that's why I wanted to bring it up.
No, I don't oppose it, but I think if you just increase the font size on Student Senate, so it's a little more legible. But I generally like it. I also like how it's like, basically it kind of makes like a mask on the eyes so that we can see it. I think this is very clever. And I think people will look at it and think it's really funny. And people people definitely like see it. Like people will see it. I don't know if people will respond to it when it's not the serious one, but I think people will look at it and be like, oh damn, Student Senate, like they're getting their name out there. So as a publicity thing, it's definitely a yes. And people might just click on that QR code and actually join us for the fun of it. So I like it. Good job, good work.
Sounds good.
I'm fine with is watching you though.
No, I think like it's too serious. It's kind of like if you do something wrong, then I'm going to catch you. You know?
Oh, okay. Is listening to you is like we'll listen to your voice.
Yeah,
but-
watching.
But it also is a little ominous.
some,
I know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Are we,
All right,
Okay, where are we at?
closing the meeting.
Closing meeting, some announcements. The only announcement is that meeting went overtime. Use that for your office hours because it went over 15 minutes. You can use it for 30 minutes of office hours. Office hours are back in session. We will be sending it out to you by tomorrow. I will send it to you another email on Sunday and maybe also Monday. I don't know. We're gonna hit you hard with those emails. So put in your hours for this week. I don't think that spreadsheet is final yet because I was gonna do some data validation things on it because I love spreadsheets, but that's about everything for that. Is there any other announcement I needed to make? No? Okay, yeah. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made, second by
Second.
anyone, yeah.
Oh,
VP
Jose also say yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, so they're all set for voting unanimous approval. If anyone says nothing, then it passes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay.
Thanks, bye.
I felt like an
Bye, guys.
auctioneer.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next week. Everyone can take.
Okay, so, I wanted to talk to